ReefDudes is sponsored by Brightwell Aquatics and Bulk Reef Supply. Today we're going to get a 1.5 year update on the Zetlight Qmaven 2 and an update on Kyle's tank. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, it's definitely been a while since I've been over to Kyle's place. It's been a good year, and I do say your tank is growing in quite nicely. There's also been a ton of people asking for an update on how you're liking the Qmaven 2s. Let's kind of dig into those two. So starting with the Qmaven 2, how has this light been working for you that you've been using it long term?
I don't know, I've really been liking it. It caused a lot of color changes in my coral as soon as I got it, actually, which was kind of interesting compared to the previous light that I had on the tank. And as of now, I've moved it up to the BRS recommendations of 15 inches and using their lighting schedule, which really helped make a big difference, actually. Especially with my Montipora started growing a lot more once I got that tuned in.
Very nice. I actually really like it how you hung it above the tank. It looks nice and sleek like that.
Yeah, a little bit better than the aluminum rod I used to get it up to the 15 originally.
Yes, much better than the legs on the side of the tank.
These are the aluminum rods.
Those are the stock legs for it?
No, these are the
Oh, you made those?
These are the ones I made.
Those are way taller than the stock ones.
Yeah, so those ones go up to 15 inches. So these are the stock ones that come with the light, and the manufacturer recommends installing them this way.
Oh, so very low to the tank.
So there's a little hex screw there.
Yeah.
Allen wrench screw, sorry. And that's what's supposed to secure it to the tank.
So that's a huge difference. So it's like BRS 4 inches instead of 15.
BRS recommended.
Yeah.
Manufacturer sent these.
So coloration wise, like you've been pretty happy with how all the corals have been growing and looking underneath it?
Yeah, other than a few die-offs, but that doesn't necessarily reflect on the light. But yeah, more growth overall. Everything's been a lot happier since I used fluconazole on the tank to get rid of my algae problem as well.
Nice. About how long ago was that?
That was 6 months ago or so.
Nice.
Maybe a little bit more.
No, I'm noticing a ton of growth and a lot more encrusting, and everything looks so much more happy and vibrant from the last time I've seen the tank.
Yeah, even I think my anemones have split another 2 or 3 times since then.
Nice.
But even the coloration for them changed quite a bit. Even on the ones at the bottom, we end up with a lot more green, and the ones at the top have a lot more red in them. I don't know that much about how the light would affect
you said
anemones, but
for the schedule-wise, you're using the one that BRS did on it?
Yes, so it's 9 hours on with a 2-hour ramp up and ramp down at the beginning and end with the same peak brightnesses that they recommended on their video. So that's 51% on the white, 85% on the royal blue and blue, 34% on the green and red, and 85% on the blue, violet, and ultraviolet.
And roughly how long is your schedule?
That's 9 hours on, and then 2 hours ramp up and ramp down.
Nice.
And in the app, I used the lunar schedule for night. So it actually turns the UV and blues on certain amounts depending on the phase of the moon, I guess.
Very nice. And what size tank is this? This is a 4-foot tank?
66 gallons.
Excellent. Now, another really cool thing that you've done with this is you do not have a sump underneath the tank.
No, I got sick of working on everything with only like 6 to 8 inches above the sump. So that's all been moved downstairs.
Well, that's pretty cool. So the whole tank underneath the stand is empty. You got tubes that run all the way down to your basement and a remote sump.
Yeah.
Should we go check it out?
Yeah.
So your drains go through your cold air return and they come into the remote sump. So it comes back down. It looks like we go into a big 7-inch filter sock, and we got tons of cooling fans.
7 by 14.
So nice size filter socks, and you got a little bit of a splash guard or just to quiet down on top.
Yeah, just to reduce the little splashing and salt creep. So that's just a piece of polycarbonate, clear polycarbonate with just holes drilled in it.
Nice.
It helped a lot to reduce splashing.
Yeah, definitely. Next over, we got the coral box skimmer. You got the refugium.
With no Chaeto in it right now.
Yeah, we'll work on that soon.
Because the fluconazole killed it.
Yeah, so fluconazole will definitely not discriminate about algae and take out just about anything.
Even after massive water changes.
Yes. So that's one of the Amazon refugium lights that you had, right?
No, that one I ordered off AliExpress. It's 100 watts, 250 watt pucks. I have to change them every little while, but
because they burn out, or?
Yeah, it's hence the fan on the top. They're always running just a little hotter than they should, but it works really well, just with a regular light timer.
Nice. So we got the control board over here on this main crate. Nice easy way to mount everything. Now another really cool thing that you have is a pretty sweet water change system. So looking at here, you got two
235 gallon storage tanks. So this one has pre-mixed salt water, has a power head in there at all times, and this is RO with an auto top off pump at the top here.
Nice.
So that way if your hose ever cracks, it just loses suction. You don't end up with water going down into the sump, right?
Excellent. Now, another really cool thing is you have a very simple but yet very effective auto water change system.
Quite automatic, but all I have to do is turn my main pumps off, and then the rest of the water will drain from the system a bit. I plug in a pump I have in the sump, and that'll start pumping water straight down the drain. Then however much water I decide to drain, and then I just unplug it again, turn my return pumps back on, and then I just crack this valve until the water level goes back to where I want it to be.
So that was like 30 seconds and you probably just did a gallon water change? That's pretty awesome. So super duper simple. I mean, it's kind of like a high-tech / low-tech blend, but it's just hardly any effort, so you'll actually do it once in a while. Coming down here, so we got the calcium reactor that's actually doing the dosing on the system.
Yep.
So how long have you had the calcium reactor? That's been probably a good year and a bit now, eh? Year and a half?
Yeah, that was about 4 months after the Qmaven light.
Yep. How are you finding the calcium reactor for stability and everything else?
Well, my corals definitely like it.
Yeah? Have you noticed a big difference since using that compared to dosing?
Yeah, especially in the Montipora. They just suck the calcium like crazy, right?
Yeah.
That biggest changes in the Montipora, but obviously the rest of the coral appreciate it. I have the review up on my channel for this pH probe that I'm using to dose the calcium reactor with CO2.
Yep.
It's still going strong. I've retested with the probe a few times. It has remained perfectly stable.
Excellent. Speaking of your channel, what is your channel?
Pretty sure it's Mr. Newlove.
I will link to it if people want to check out the review on that later. Yeah, and otherwise, so yeah, pretty slick little setup, and it's cool how everything is kind of hidden down here. And remote sump, so there's no noise, you don't hear any of the filtration. You got your water change, turn a valve, plug something in, super easy, done.
Yeah.
So really cool. I like that kind of low-tech, high-tech kind of blend of the system.
I think I should have mentioned, if anyone else was looking at doing the remote sump, this is called flexible PVC. So you can use your regular PVC glue, regular PVC fittings and everything like that.
Okay, nice. Is that the same as Spallflex or is that something different?
It's a little different.
Okay.
You can use it for spas, but it's supposed to be food safe.
So as a bit of follow-up on the light, would you recommend it? How are you liking it long-term? Would you buy it again?
I would recommend it. The biggest thing when you're going to buy it is think where you're going to put the power brick, because that's pretty big.
Yeah. I'm
sure we covered that in the first review. For me, it's actually down in the cold air return now, so you can't even see or hear it.
Nice. It's a good way to hide it. Now, one other thing I noticed is you got a little 3D printed kind of feeding chimney here, so that pipes everything down into a little feeding ring inside of the tank.
Yeah, because I didn't like not having a roof on my tank, but if I'm ever away for a few days, I want to make sure the fish are still getting food. And so yeah, I piped it down into a 3D printed ring, and all that mounting is 3D printed, including for the water return and everything.
Nice.
But yeah, just has enough room for the door to open on the inside, and it drops the food down the chimney. And I haven't had a problem with it getting stuck or anything, so.
You even actually 3D printed the light mounts, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Those are 3D printed, the wall bracket is. You are definitely a fan of the 3D printing. I like it.
Well, just you can't find the exact part you want. I couldn't think of any nice way of mounting these that was elegant.
Yeah. Is there any other like kind of really cool little 3D parts you printed for the tank?
all more structural, because I don't trust having all this weight from this hose and all this, because it takes a bit of force to bend it, just all on this tiny ABS compression fitting on the bottom of the tank. Don't trust that, so I 3D printed 2 pieces to perfectly match
Oh, so
the
that's
frame.
kind of like a side support.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
all the strain is being taken off by that.
Okay, now one other thing most people wouldn't notice, which is pretty cool. This return gate, you fully 3D printed it.
Yeah, so that's just a cold air return 3D printed, but I made a slide over here so that the pipes fit perfectly flush and these slide out the bottom as you install it.
No, very cool. It's a sleek way to get them in there. Still looks nice and, you know, stockish and looks good.
You know, a lot better compared to the holes in the wall I had before.
Yes, I would agree. Well, things are definitely looking good. It looks like the Qmaven 2 is doing a fine job, and your tank is looking quite vibrant and nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you got any questions, let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next update.